This is Dr. Dale Lawrence, and I'm here with my brother, the incredible, the Grammy-nominated, Stellar Award-winning, multi-award-winning,
wow, praise God,
hip-hop ambassador, kingdom ambassador, standing on kingdom business.
yeah,
Canton Jones,
yeah,
Dr. Canton Jones, as a matter of fact.
Dr. Lawrence, thank you for having me.
Man, listen, it is an absolute pleasure. We're here to talk about they stole my computer.
Yeah,
Man, people are wanting to know. This campaign came out of nowhere. Some people thought it was a gimmick. Some people thought you were lying. But this is something that actually happened.
right, it's real life.
Walk me through this.
So, the events leading up to that, and they stole my computer. A lot of people like, man, is it really that bad? I mean, I know they took your computer, bro, but it symbolizes the straw that broke the camel's back. It's not just about the computer, but it's everything that led up to that. And so,
Well, take me back to that. What led to the final straw?
well,
We know they stole your computer. That's the final straw.
Right.
But what were the other straws?
I wish that was the final straw, bro. So my wife and I, we were, we started Free Life. We've been doing what we pastored 8 years, Free Life, and of course you get the bumps and the bruises of ministry. And God tells me that I have to give the ministry away. He said, you have 1 year. You have to give the ministry away. Told me who it was and all that. And I cried because I thought what did I do wrong? I didn't hear anything. I just was like, all right, well. So I talked to a couple people. I talked to the guy who I felt like God led me to, get a church away to. And, I was mature about it. And he not only said, you get a church away, but everything in it, and everything in it, my family had sacrificed to purchase. Of course, people helped over the years, but it was primarily our family. So you talk about giving away everything, and so I felt like I failed, but I prepared myself to walk in whatever season that I was getting ready to walk in. And so when I ended up doing that part of it, it was just real stressful, bro. So that year, it seemed like that year went by so fast, and I came up on the time that I had to give it away. And first Sunday that I had to give it away, I was out. I was at another church, and called back to check up on everything. Just how, man, they say the church was so packed, they had to pull out chairs, and so I was like, man, church ain't never been packed for me, So I was just like, okay, well, maybe God was waiting on me to move out the way before certain things happened. It's like, all right, so that was kind of messing with me. Then right after that, and when I say right after that, that means probably the next day, we get audited. So we get audited by the IRS. Wow. We are being probed by the government. You got to do everything. Give them everything, every receipt, So we are at the IRS office doing business, my wife and I.
Wow.
I go to get lunch for her because, me, I'm a creative person. So if I got to do numbers and business,
that's
and
not your,
I need a break from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I needed a break from it, just to get some sugar in my system, walk around, do something. So her brother had had recently bought a new car, and he had a seizure. And so he said, man, I need somebody to drive my car because I don't want it to just be sitting. It's brand new. I don't want those problems. So y'all drive the car for me and, to put some miles on it. So she was like, of course, bet. It's a brand new Jeep. Yeah. It's the kind of Jeep that you pull the roof off of it. But when you get that type of Jeep, you got to wind the windows down and lock the doors manually. It's no automatic on it because all the electric system or whatever is not in it. So that's what we were driving. And so when I took the truck to Planko Chicken, and I thought we were in a great neighborhood, I did not lock the door.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't lock the door, and I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna do nothing. I'm being here 5-10 minutes. Now, I'm a person that take my book bag everywhere. Could have left my book bag at the office with my wife. I didn't.
Wow.
I took it with me. And I just been, every time you see me, you know, and you have seen me, my book bag is somewhere in the room. If we're at a concert, somebody that's with me is holding my book bag. That's how I've been for over 20 years.
Right.
Man, got the chicken sandwiches, bro. 15 minutes, bro. No, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody was watching me. But I'm like, how can they be watching me? It's so random to pick that car.
Yeah.
And they had got me, man. I got back. The glove compartment was open. And I'm like, man, did I leave the glove compartment? I'm tripping. Then I realized, oh, my God, somebody got me. And I was like, but ain't nothing in here. I was like, I had a little chuckle. I mean, it was brand new, it was spotless. And I was like, my book bag is in the back seat. And it took me probably 30, 40 seconds before I just turned around. I just sat there like.
Right. You don't even want to turn around.
I don't even want to turn around, bro. And when I turned around, it was gone.
Man.
And so I got out the car, looked around like, man, somebody, you know. And so I heard the Holy Spirit say, let it go. And I was asking God, like, what happened? Like, where are my angels?
Wow.
And I know he showed me my angels around the car. He showed this black figure coming to the car, and the angels opening up, basically getting out the way to let this figure come in, take my computer and leave, and then close back up. And I was like, and he said that computer was old wineskin for you. And he was like, trust me, I'm pouring new oil on you. And that old computer will have that new oil to spoil on you. And it's the stuff that was inside. It was my mom's pictures, dad's songs, and old stuff, old software too. You know, and I must admit, it was a 2012 MacBook Pro.
Hey, look, man, that's the kind you can bust out.
That's the Steve Jobs version.
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
can drop from the ceiling and
That's
still
it.
live. But and so then I go back to the IRS. My wife finished that, heartbroken. Come to the church, even though I had just given it away. I had keys, checking on certain things, about to clean out my office, and was trying to buy game systems for the kids, and somebody stole one of the game systems, like on the same day. Next day, I just felt so weird, man. My wife said that I was in shock. She said I was in shock for about 3 weeks.
Definitely.
And I went and bought her a car. Bought her a Benz. Her birthday was around that time. Well, I bought her a Benz because I should have bought something for her birthday, but but at that time I just felt like I needed to do something. And before I could pay the note, I wrecked it. And that's when I felt cursed.
Okay.
And so that's when all of that just exploded into what in the world is happening.
Yes.
I was on the way to meet somebody, bro, and wrecked the car then, and it was drivable, but it was ugly. And got in there to the meeting, and it was supposed to be a professional meeting, and I broke down crying, bro, because I was just like, what did I sign up for?
Right.
You know. And so that's why this whole thing is, I wanted to kind of live this out in front of people, to give people the process of getting through, persevering, not quitting. You know, when it's not pretty. I've gotten a lot of encouragement from people, but a lot of times, you know, you see your pastors and your bishops, they go through things, but they go through things behind closed doors, and then they come back and act like everything is all right. I've done that. And sometimes you got to put on face for people to be courageous for people. But in this situation, I was just like, man, I'm not okay right now. And I kind of wanted to show the world that it's all right not to be all right.
I've never heard of an album like this, a quadrilogy.
Right.
Where you're doing 4 albums, 4 distinct styles.
Right.
Listen, we come up together using the MPCs, and I know what it's like when you do a dope beat on the MPC. You leave it up, you go to sleep, and maybe a thunderstorm happened, and the lights clip, and you lose that magic, and you like, oh.
Right.
Was this album quadrilogy Get Back? Did you feel like, okay, now I'm getting ready to put the pedal to the metal. I'm about to put my foot on the devil's neck. I'm about to just go in and just.
I feel like I feel like maybe some of that, but also having so many songs represent a fear of trying to be perfect, a fear of they're not gonna like these songs. Then and this is a collection of songs that I've had over a period of time.
Now, somebody at your stature has been releasing music. Amazing fan base.
Yep.
Why would you be fearful?
Just overthinking. Overthinking about lyrics. Overthinking about, is this biblical? Just overthinking. And sometimes.
Have you ever been in that space?
Yeah, all the time. I've stayed in that space my whole career of overthinking. I got a song called "Mean" that I made. It was the first song that I sang at World Changers. The first time that I sang in the Dome, I sang a song called "Mean." It was at a men's conference. That's the first. Before I did any praise and worship, before any youth conferences in the Dome, before I brought you and you splashed water, there was a song called "Mean."
Okay.
Man, men were breaking down crying when I sang that song, the anointing of it, and I never released it. I don't know why I didn't release it, but it's never been released. And so in this season, and then I think
Give me an answer now. Go there now. Go back to that time and you tell me why you didn't release that song.
I thought paranoid. Just thinking that it wasn't good enough.
But you saw the impact.
I did. And that impact was not loud enough to silence the other voices in my head.
Wow.
And so I held on to it. I just held on to it. It's like I don't know. You just feel like, man, maybe I could do this to it. And back then I was producing on MPC, of course, but I had the 1680. The mixes back then were very, very not good, and I would let the people hear it. People would like it, but then when I hear other professionals, guys that's in the field, like, bro, you need to get somebody else to mix it. And then certain things just kept me from releasing it. And I was like, man, this song could have had such an impact. And so releasing the songs now is saying, you know what, man, regardless of what people think, I'm just going to put it out so that people can be blessed and healed. Maybe 1 or 2 people might like it. Maybe people don't like it. That's fine. But I'm going to trust God because I feel like God gave me something, and I got to trust Him to put it out.
Now, there are 4 albums. Which one is it on?
Mean is not. It's not on any album. I'm getting ready to release. Sorry, I'm getting ready to release Kjo Vintage, which all the records from old school is going to come out as well. Including me.
All right, there we go.
And so it's going to come out some songs that were supposed to be on Kingdom Business, songs that were supposed to be on Love Jones, songs that I've kept for 20 years.
Wow.
And so it's called Vintage. It has that same sound of back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm just getting ready to put it out now. And sometimes, bro, people are going to say, what's wrong with this song? And I'm like, some of it, you know, the labels didn't like, you know, and some of it, you know, and so kind of had to kind of go with what they were thinking at the time.
You mentioned World Changers. Just mentioned the label, Arrow.
Right.
What's the relationship
Now?
now?
Well, I don't know about Arrow. I mean, I really haven't communicated a lot with Pastor and Pastor Taffy. I mean, I love them, of course. You know, I support what they do. But as far as just communication, there's really no communication like that.
Did you feel like you did your complete work on Arrow? Or did you feel stifled at times?
Well, I felt like I was there to serve. Really, I was there to give my all, my heart, and I felt like, you know, I had to just roll with the vision of Pastor Taffy. Of course, sometimes we butt heads with everybody that was in the office. We didn't always agree, but we released some real good stuff. And I think, you know, when it was my time to kind of move on, I made that decision, and it was a tough decision. But I think, you know, just after that, you know, I went my way, and, you know, and the church, you know, of course, World Changes is what it is, Creflo and Taffy Dollar, and they've been a huge blessing to me and my wife and my family. But as far as on a business level, I just wanted to really do KJO. I've always been an independent. I've always had my business and company, and I kind of want to do that for my own legacy, for my own family, you know, and that's kind of what we did.
Now, the albums are incredible. I think it's your magnum opus. I think it represents this season where Stevie Wonder in the early 70s, where he released like these 3 dope albums leading up to Songs in the Key of Life, and he was just in the bag. He was in he was in the pocket. Yeah. That's what I sense with these records. Walk me through each one. God MD. That sounds, well, first of all, the whole album feels like an audio soundtrack, an audio book. It is. Like a story, like a journey. Yeah. Would you say that?
God MD is layered. People say, you know, double entendre. This record is triple, quadruple.
Right.
I'm talking about maybe 3 or 4 things at one time. And so They Stole My Computer. When you listen to it, track number 1 represents Life Is All Good. It's a timescape type of song. In the middle of the song, because you heard it, maybe everybody hadn't heard it. Right. There's this, and that represents trouble. That represents anxiety. That represents craziness. But you still hear me under there saying, "Get your hands up," and I'm praying. So it represents me praising God in the midst of turmoil. So everything starts off great, and if there's a title sequence to a movie, that would be the title sequence. It's the introduction to what you're getting ready to see. It's like a time lapse of, man, my life has been great, and now we're finna hit this patch, but I'm still gonna keep praising God. So that is the story of track number 1. And track number 2 is They Stole My Computer. It's when things are going great, all of a sudden tragedy might strike. You know, I've had a mom and a dad to go home to be with the Lord. We've had a miscarriage. One of my songs, I Can't Help It, one of my most lit songs was written because of a miscarriage. You know, and so They Stole My Computer is the same type of song that's,
and I feel that energy in it.
Yeah.
You can feel the frustration.
Yeah.
In the lyrics, in the way you sing it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah, and it's real life. Yeah. And it's like, you know, and I'm saying, I'm feeling sick though. I want to visit a clinic. I got so many songs that I never even finished. And so in this process, I had to go to the doctor. You know, I was diagnosed with diabetes. You know, and I'm healed. I'm healed.
Yeah.
And so, which means, you know, the numbers that I had at first, I don't have anymore. So God has healed me. Not now. I'm talking faith, but I'm also talking reality. I'm healed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I went to go sit with a psychiatrist only once, but I did. And just kind of cried and talked, and it was really good. And so what I'm saying in the song is real life. Everything is real life. I'm just hinting at it, but everything is real life. And so when I get to the next song, Take the Pressure, the first thing you do when you go into a hospital is they take your blood pressure.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, take the pressure. And I'm also saying that I got to take the pressure off myself. I'm doing too much, got to lean on your help, which means I'm saying pretty much, man, I need help. And a lot of times it's hard for especially men to say I need help. And so that's what that song is pretty much saying. I need help. God, I need help. And I not only need you to help me, but I need people to help me too.
Yeah.
And it's saying that I got to lean on my help. And then after that, you know, is the song called Symptoms. And Symptoms is a song that talks about you're being addicted to something. The surface level, when you hear it, it says, I think I'm in love because I have the symptoms. So it's a love song. Surface one, it's a love song. I've been thinking about you so much lately.
Right.
It's a love song.
Yeah.
But second level is that I'm in love with God. Well, first level is I'm in love with God.
Sure.
Second level is I'm in love with a girl. I've been thinking. But third level is I've been thinking about you so much lately. I'm addicted to this drug. I'm addicted to this thing that has me, that I'm addicted to.
Wow.
and I have the symptoms of it. And so I'm talking about three things at one time.
Did you have that in mind going in, or is this ghost written?
Man, so how I record is, you know, I like to record myself. So I'm not in a booth. I'm in the room. The mic is right here and the computer's right here. And God will give me the lyrics. And, you know, I think I'm in love because I have the symptoms. And then I record the next part. And then I go back and listen to it. And I'm like, oh, my God. You know, I see what you're saying. Even at the end, my wife is singing on the end backgrounds. It's like a heart monitor.
Yeah.
And you hear love. You can hear the rise and fall of the heart monitor, and then and then it taps out. So you see that the person maybe succumb to love. That you die to the things of the flesh, first level, because you're in love with God. That you succumb to love with this girl or whoever your guy is, you know what I'm saying? And you've given yourself up in love, or you succumb to this drug and you've given yourself over and you flatline. You know, and so all three levels is all saying the same thing. And then the next song is called Meds. And then you hear this sound, the first sound you hear on Med is which is a heart monitor to bring you back to life. I mean, the shot, what are the pads?
This is pure ministry.
And so, but it's not, bruh, I couldn't have planned this.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit is telling me what to do, how to put the songs in order, and then he's telling me why I said certain things that I said in the music.
Powerful.
And it's crazy. And so that's what I call insomnia. That's the insomnia part of the record, where you deal with anxiety, insecurity, you deal with depression, you deal with sickness, and then you get into the presence, which is Remember Me. Remember Me,
which by the way is one of my favorites. That Remember Me, that one that I see, they're just
right back to back. Yeah.
Oh man, incredible.
It is. Remember Me is the last song of the Insomnia movement, and ICU is the first song of the Presence of God movement. And so what you see is when Jesus always referred to God, Father God, you know, when you pray, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You always called him the Father.
Yeah.
But when he was getting ready to die, he said, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
And my God, at that point, see, Father is one thing, but God shows distance. A king, hey, that's the king. It shows the distance. You know, that is the king.
Right.
I might know him, but that's the king.
Right.
No, that king is my dad, though. You see how close the relationship closes up. That is the king, but that's my dad.
Right.
So he said, he always called him Father to show how close he was with the Father, but now he calls him God because he didn't feel him, bro. And he says, my God, why have you forsaken me? Like, why have you turned your back on me? Like, where are you?
And as you're explaining, I'm hearing the songs in my head, man. Y'all, if you don't have it, you need to get it ASAP. It's therapy.
Yeah. And so remember
It's
me.
medicine.
Yep. Remember me was how I felt when I had crashed that car. When the computer was gone, I felt forgotten.
That's how you feel.
I felt like, you know. And then on that song, I didn't even sing lead.
Right.
There's no lead vocal. It's all background vocals. I sang all background vocals because I felt like I represented so many other brothers. I didn't want to be in the front.
Right.
You know, I didn't want no front man. I wanted to just be in the back singing with the brothers to say, man, God, remember us, man, please. You know, when you come in your kingdom, remember. And and just at the most broken place I could be at, then I go to ICU. And so when you are to the point where you're broken, you go to intensive care. So it's not only, you know, people say, how can you serve a God that you can't see? How can you serve a God that you can't feel? Well, yeah. I mean, when I see the stars, I see you. When I see the trees, I see you. When I see the rain, I see you, God. I can see you in everything.
Yeah.
But it's not only I see you, but I'm in ICU. I'm in intensive care. Like I'm at the most vulnerable part of this movement of my life.
Right.
And I'm in ICU. And most of the time in ICU, you're laying and you're thinking, and you can't move. Sometimes they say, even when you're comatose, they say you can hear, but people can't. You can't talk. You can't open your eyes, but you can hear. You know, and
I think that's why it hits me so hard with my sister recently passing.
Yeah.
She was in that state, and that's what they were saying. They were saying that she can hear you, but I was thinking, man, that got to be hell to hear your family, hear everything going on around you, but you cannot
communicate. Right. And so in that ICU, you could just feel the repair of what's happening spiritually, just, you know. And then the song after that is I Think I'm Feeling My Healing. And I remember, man, waking up feeling different. I'm just like, man, I think I'm feeling my healing.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'm feeling my healing. And so it's a whole movie to walk somebody that's going through, you know, it's just an audio movie, you know. And you know, and then as that music come, you hear the only feature on God MD is my son Dominion. Because most of the times when you're in ICU, immediate family is the only one that can come see you.
Right.
So he's the only feature on there. My wife is doing backgrounds, and he's the only feature on there, and that's why he's on a song called Zoning. And what zoning is, when you hear zoning, I put a song called Zoning and Worthy back to back. Worthy is one of my dad's songs that he used to sing.
Okay.
And I re-recorded it.
Okay.
One of the parts in the song says, I love you, Lord, and you are my everything. And on it, he used to go up, love you, Lord. Well, I went down. I said, I love you, Lord. And I put his part in the back so that right there we're singing together.
Wow.
And it's poetry, and it's all in the music. And that I'm singing that song with him. Yeah. And then after that, I'm in the worship with my son. And that shows legacy.
Yes.
And so It's all of this is in the music, man.
Man.
Yeah.
Now, Kingdom Supremacy, classic K-Joe right there.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
I think my favorite. So it's so hard because I love the R&B soul K-Joe, love the rapping K-Joe, love the worship K-Joe, right? But that hip hop, that's where we started.
That's where we started. Yep.
That's where we started. I mean, we're talking 24 years.
Yeah. Woo.
Well, we
ride on 24s.
Come on, man. Come on, ride 24
Yeah.
with 24.
Yeah.
We so many mentees, artists,
Yep.
kids all over the country, lives we've changed.
Yeah.
Supremacy feels like that stamp of like what we were doing all those years, all those battles we had to fight
Right.
for these new cats to
Right.
be able to do what they're doing. Explain to me about the vision behind Kingdom Supremacy.
Yeah, Kingdom Supremacy is a mixture of kingdom business and kingdom legacy. And so, a legacy, of course, is my family, my kids.
Sure.
You know, my son, like I said, Minion is producing a lot of that music. Lovey, my daughter's rapping. My sons, my babies are rapping on it. My 11-year-old even produced a song on God MD. You know, and so that's kind of was the focus to let the youth and the young, you know, hip hop loves the young anyway. So
Yes.
you know, we just got on there, you know, got a lot of features on there, and wanted to have a lot of fun. I think the shocker track though it's a record called First Lady, and it says you
Which is
ain't
dope.
you ain't the first lady,
Which is dope.
you the only lady. You a queen
Which
pin,
is
never
dope.
acting phony lady.
Come on.
Yeah.
Which my sissy
And
is
my-
on there. And Love.
And Love Jones.
That's crazy.
My wife is rapping for the first time on a K-Joe project. And she been
That
wanting
ain't
to
her
rap for
first
years.
time rapping, though.
Right. She been
We
wanting to
go
rap
back
for years.
24 years.
Yeah.
I
but
remember.
she ain't never record a rap.
True, okay.
and she killed that.
Oh, killed it.
Bruh. And so I think that's gonna be a shock.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many other tracks. My kids rapping. You know, one of the tracks is called "This Is Worship," and it's like a cipher, like 6 rappers on there. And the night before, I was at an event, and you know, somebody was like, you know, y'all trying to do all of this stuff. You know, you at an event where it's other people, older people, that's still stuck in their ways and all of that, and really don't respect the hip hop as worship and all that type of stuff. And so, man, I tried to find the muddiest track I could find, and made a track called "This Is Worship to Me." And I don't care what you see. I don't care what we look like to you. This is worship. This is worship.
How do you feel after 24 years of us putting in the work, doing what we did for the old guard to steal, or you to steal, run into people who have and take issue with our form of worship?
Man, you just gotta educate them. I think
We've been educating for 24 years.
we have been educating them.
Come on, keep it real.
Just when they get close to you, you educate them. But I'm not going out of my way to educate. That's what I used to do. I used to go out of my way to try to explain. I used to go out of my way to try to. That part I'm not doing. And here's why. One, I made the time machine for them, which is the next record we'll talk about.
Right.
The other thing is, and somebody told me, you know, a brother of mine said, man, you need to break it down. You need to do something where you have a conference and really break it down so the older generation can understand. And I said, man, think about it like this. Let's say that there's a fire happening in this house, and there's 5 kids in there, right? And then you're getting ready to go in and save those kids. And then your neighbor comes over and says, well, Mr. Dale, what's going on over here? Like, you know, And you got to sit there and explain, well, it's kids that's getting ready to burn up. You can see the smoke is happening, and I think I probably need to get in there right away. Why you feel like you need to get in? Well, I think it's necessary because the fire is not good on their skin, and I think they'll die from smoke inhalation. And I got to sit here and explain to him while they're dying. And so I decided I'm gone.
Come on,
I'm
already gone.
I'm gone. I'm in the house. I'm helping. We saving souls. We saving lives. We putting out fires. And if you don't understand by smelling the smoke on my clothes that what happened, then you don't really want to know. And there are people, no matter what you tell them, no matter how much they're they're informed, they don't want to know the truth.
That's true.
They don't want to know that, ma'am, I don't care how many songs of Zion that you sing in this church on this Sunday morning.
Yeah.
When you leave here, hip hop runs your neighborhood.
Come on.
It is what it is.
Runs the school.
Runs the school.
Runs the culture.
Runs your grocery store. Mostly everybody that work at the grocery store and everybody that's in the grocery store listens to hip hop music.
That's it.
Now, wouldn't you think you would just put God in the hip hop instead of trying to get people to leave the hip hop to come to God?
Come on.
And so it's like when you leave church, you can do whatever you want in those 2 hours. When you come out, we'll be waiting. The culture is strong. Every church is submerged. If you're a black church, you're submerged in the hip hop culture. Yes. Some of y'all made it to suburbia, maybe, but for the most part, you in the hood. Right. And all churches, people are driving from outside of town to come in, maybe, but you in the middle of the hood, so you still are impacted with hip hop. Why not use it as a platform? Why not use it to help the people? It's like being in a Spanish community but not speaking Spanish, or not even having people communicating in Spanish, or not even having any materials to minister to the Spanish people. You're telling the Spanish people you have to learn English and you have to learn the English culture because we refuse to help you in your culture.
And let's be clear, it's in the suburbs too. The suburban kids, man, they don't want to buy the most hip hop. They don't want to keep it alive.
But they're not living that life though.
No, of course not.
And I'm like, why not? And then it's like, if they support it, we have some brothers that's doing very, very well that's supported by suburban America. Like, why can't urban America, why can't our black churches help support it? Why can't our big bishops put it on a platform? Why can't our big pastors put it on the platform? If it's good enough for your kids on a Wednesday off camera, or in youth ministry off camera, or kids ministry off camera, or outreach ministry off camera, or outreach ministry, when you giving away food and all that, you playing the hip hop, you got the DJ off camera. When y'all do the Harvest Fest for Halloween off camera, you use hip hop every other place, but when the camera turns on, it's something else. And so I'm like, that's hypocrisy. You know what the community needs, you give it to them when it's time, but you can't worship to it.
Are you upset that the old guard didn't push the button on what we were doing?
I'm more upset with myself that I didn't push the button myself.
Explain that.
Which means I had the power to, when I was asking other people to do, I had the power to do it myself. I just didn't know I did. I just didn't know. I know now, but I didn't know that I had the same power and I had the same opportunity. Because sometimes when you walk into a situation and it's already built, it's easier to get onto something that was already built than to build your own. And God has always made me build my own. I couldn't get on the tour with somebody. You got to build your own tour. Right. And to be honest with you, Free Life is the only place where Canton Jones can really worship how freely like he worships.
Hence the name.
Yeah, because when I went to one church, they wanted this type of KJ, which I could do. I'm classically trained. I went to Morehouse. I know how to sing that way.
Trilogy is
it's about. What it's about. Yeah. To just show you all spans of what I do. But there are people would love part 1, not love part 2, but love part 3. You know, part 3 is old school. It's I grew up quartet. You know, it's all old school. What if James Brown got saved? What would that sound like? What if Frankie Beverly Mays got saved? What would that sound like? So it's all old school, which is a part of the culture of African America.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but we can respect that culture. We can respect other cultures. Why can't we respect the hip hop culture?
It seems like it's going to be a Moses situation where they have to die off in order for Joshua.
Ooh, and that's sad.
It is.
And because here's what I said, and I'm glad you said that. They're only doing to us what was done to them. All of their music was called the devil music.
Yeah, of course. That gospel took from blues.
Right.
It took from the culture of that time.
Right. And the young people there, all the old people told them that it was secular music. Y'all going to hell. And so I did. That's why I did Time Machine, to say, you know what, I hate to say the alternative. You know, I don't like the alternative. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. You know, so when we did start doing hip hop, I believe that's the way. That's the way to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? This hip hop way. So I feel like Time Machine, which is part 3, tells the old school, man, this is probably what it would have sounded like if some of your people would have got saved.
That's good.
The sound of it.
That's good.
This is what it would have felt like.
Because I think about that sound now, like even as you talk, I'm like, ooh, that funk. You even got Bootsy Collins.
Bootsy Collins on the record, bro.
Who does that?
Bro, and he killed it. And the trip about having Bootsy on this record is he's on the same song as my daughter.
Wow.
And my daughter is rapping, and Bootsy is on the same. So the legacy you talking about. Boosie's 72. My daughter's 19. You're talking about 4 generations,
right?
You know, and so when we talk about the legacy, when we talk about the feel of Time Machine, I think out of all the records, Time Machine is probably my favorite. I
was gonna ask you.
Time Machine is.
You beat me to the punch. So Time Machine gets the winner in your book.
All of them, my babies.
Of course.
But Time Machine is the most different for me.
Yeah,
because of just the different styles. I tried to get into the 80s. I tried to get into the 70s.
And that's why I say this is your magnum opus.
Wow. Praise God, man.
I am.
This
is
I got a
classic Keijo worship.
Yeah. It's a worship. It's a techno house worship sound.
It's CCM dipped in chocolate. That's what it is.
With some spikes on it.
Yeah.
You know, because and here's the thing about it, man. I love white people.
Yeah.
You know, we you know, I got white friends. Yes. I've always kept, and we always keep in touch. And so, you know, I'm not this African American, even though I went to Morehouse College, that don't have friends from other cultures.
Right.
And so this is not only just for you know, to reach out to other cultures in America, but around the world. You know, that when we travel around the world, we have world music, and so I Am is kind of like a world view of music. You know, of course, hip hop is run by America. You know, that's the American sound. But that I Am takes you to a world view. You know, and so and one of the songs that I love on there is called "He's Alive." It talks about Jesus being alive. Somebody singing opera on there. And it says, if you're looking for Jesus, the one who was crucified, he's alive, but she's singing an opera. And you hear the sound of the Morehouse College and Spelman Glee Club and on a techno beat. So
crazy.
So it shows my wife, who's singing that song, her skill
set,
and the dream of that
classically trained, operatic.
Yeah,
I heard it. Like what are you talking about?
And when we the dream of that song is because I'm coming out with a Jeopardy for this album, and it's what if Morehouse and Spelman was on her way to a concert and got lost and ended up at a rave, what would that sound like? And that's the song.
Only you can think like that.
That's how.
Only you can think
So,
like that.
so that's Morehouse and Spelman at a rave, bro.
I love
and
it.
so I just kind of went weird with it. It's a weird record, but I love it. It's amazing.
This is phenomenal, brother. And when I tell you, like I said, your magnum opus, I've been here from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And to see the evolution, to see the pain that produced a more potent purpose in the music,
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Man. I salute you. Standing ovation.
Praise God, man.
Everything, all accolades I can give. But in closing, what is the overall message that you want the listener at this stage and age of your life? What is the overall message that you want them to get from each album? Let's start with God MD.
God MD, the overall message of God MD is to get in the presence of God and do what He tell you to do. God MD represents pain, but you're working through it.
Right.
You get into the presence of God, getting built back up. It helps people with mental health.
Yeah.
I really wanted people to focus on mental health on this, and so that's the focus, man. That you can make it. That no matter how bad it is, and no matter how bad it may seem at one time, God is going to bring you through. And that's all the way to the prayer that I do at the end.
Wow.
That's the prayer that I pray for my kids every day.
Yes.
You know, I gave that to the world. You know,
Beautiful.
that they can pray with my family every day. But if you don't have a prayer for your family, that this could be the prayer for your family.
Awesome.
You know, and so it's not a dance record. It's a sit down, listen, cry it out, get built back up, and let's go type of record. And then Kingdom Supremacy is just we riding, we back. We own it, and we got the fellows, and we got everybody with us. And it's almost like, man, everybody went through the God MD process. Who here? Everybody went through it. So, you know, by the time you get here, you know I'm back right. You know, and so Time Machine is like, man, I wish I could have did this for my parents.
Wow. Beautiful.
You know, I wish I could have did. I wish. So I imagine my parents as young people partying to this record.
Right.
That's why I love it so much.
Wow.
As young people, because I feel like even in heaven they're at their best self.
Oh yeah.
They look so young,
It's
and
a
they look so,
celebration.
and they're dancing to this music.
That's it.
So that's why I call it Time Machine.
Beautiful.
You know, and so that you go back in time and live your best life and stay there.
I am.
Is futuristic, and so
What's the message?
The message in I am is I am God. I am God. I am God. So it's God, I am God, and it's I am. But it's also I am a God.
So am I.
And so am I. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because what's the son of a lion? That's a lion.
That's it.
What's the son of a crocodile? That's a crocodile.
That's it.
So what's the son of a God? That's a God.
That's it.
And so it's saying I am is God. I am God. So I am. I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, the extraordinary Dr. Canton Jones. Thank you, sir. It was an absolute
Wow.
pleasure.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah.